So front yard landscaping is pretty good. Nice mature trees. Again, nice hardy plank siding. These are all wooden garage doors. The last panel on the very bottom, the caulking is really soft here to the touch, and kind of coming apart. So that sometimes will kind of just lead to water intrusion into your wooden garage doors. So just make sure to recaulk those. It's the same on this side as well. Going around the back of the house. So I mean, if at some point you really wanted to, you could maybe put grass here and kind of redo the whole side yard, so you can have some type of a grassy area. AC is definitely older, so you might need to budget a new one at some point. So your fence, I don't know whose side it is, like if it's shared between you and the neighbor, but it's definitely got some support, so maybe leaning on one side or the other. So anytime you have wood, it really shouldn't be touching the ground. And as you can see right there, how all that wood is touching the ground, it's just going to start rotting away. So you have to scrape all of that dirt aside from the fence. And you can see it along here as well. See all that dirt touching the fence, it's all going to rot away. So you got to brush all that off. And it's kind of leaning off to the side a little bit there towards your neighbor's house. You definitely need to pressure wash this and kind of get this waterproofed again. It's not rotting from the top though, but definitely something I would be very proactive with before it starts to happen. Got a lot of fencing to take care of. Like you mentioned, the deck is in pretty good shape. You know, with this here, you do have some sense of privacy, so that's really nice. So for a newer roof, they definitely got a lot of moss up on there already, so just make sure somebody takes care of that. And I don't know if you can see it, but you do have some failed windows where moisture have gone in between the two panes. So just looking at it, it's a little bit foggy. And you can maybe see it more once we get to the inside. These garden beds, all this wood here, you're going to really attract wood destroying organisms, which is not a good idea. So I would remove all of that as much as possible at some point. Like all this is just not something you should really have near your house. All that wood for it to kind of rot away and have all these insects get into it. So this fencing here looks fine, but once again, you got a lot of wood here. So that's something my inspector always calls out. So I'm kind of relaying that info to you guys. And it's a little bit of a trip hazard as this is not exactly level, but you know, that's kind of easy to fix. A little small yard area. Not sure what this button here is for. So getting into the main house, you know, in Asian culture, we believe a lot in feng shui and stuff like that. And one of the big no-nos is once you open the door, is to kind of have the stairs right in front of you. It's a little askew. It's not quite directly in front of you, but it's always not a good thing to have. So that might turn people off as well. And some people don't even know or care. So it kind of goes both ways. Definitely need repainting on the inside of the house, maybe some retaping as well. Yeah, that's definitely something I would do, is just have it, the whole interior repainted. You definitely have different shades of carpet. I think some parts are replaced and others not. There's definitely a pet odor, and the listing agent says that they did have a cat. So in order to remove any pet odors, best to just replace all the carpet and get that odor out of there. Windowsills just need to be repainted. So you do have some windows where it's double pane, but this is double pane aluminum. Probably original. This is older. It's still functional, but it's not as good as the updated vinyl ones. But you do have some that are vinyl in the house that I saw. All the appliances look good. Your drawers do have the soft close, but they're just kind of stapled together or nailed together. These are not dovetailed, so not the most highest quality cabinets, but you know, they all look pretty clean. And this, of course, the vent goes down. There's no hood above you, so not the most efficient, but this is all the best they can do with this layout. Pretty nice bookshelves. This door obviously has been upgraded. This is a vinyl door, so that looks really good and clean. The windows here, see how this is now a vinyl window as opposed to the older aluminum ones. So they've done some upgrades here and there, but definitely not throughout the entire house. Just again, just a lot of paint job needed. And going into the laundry room, there's some torn up tile, but I'll probably just replace this a little bit. You see on your garage quite a lot of sunlight coming in, so you should probably get some good weather stripping, kind of prevent drafts from coming into your garage. Notice too, for these two bays, there's no garage door opener, so you probably want to get that installed. There is one for the third bay though. Your furnace is definitely probably original. It looks pretty old, so this is something where you might need to budget for it as well. Here is your gas water heater that is definitely newer. The inspection said that it did not have these earthquake straps on it, so the seller did put that on, so that's good to see, as that always gets called out by the appraisers. So your garage doors, see, they're not really rotting from the inside, even though the caulking on the outside is pretty bad. But you see there are water stains, and there are heavier doors. You could probably keep it if you maintain it from the outside. You see how all that light too? Whenever you have all this light, sometimes it also allows for a rodent intrusion to come into your garage where it's nice and toasty. So it's always good to get all that weather stripping and close all that sunlight out. Got huge gaps right there. Tons of light coming in. Alright, that's probably your cat scratching the wall there. Alright, if we get to the upstairs, so again, two different shades of carpet. They replaced the one I'm stepping on. It actually feels pretty good. But once you get in here, you can feel this, the lack of padding and whatnot. So as we get into this window, I don't know how well you can see it, but there's definitely some fogginess. So this window has definitely failed. And okay, that one's okay. And then, like the inspection said, you know, I would rip out all this carpet in the bathroom. Definitely have older tiles. This sink's it's worn off a little bit. Sinks are okay, but cabinets and everything are definitely older. I mean, the home definitely shows its age with all these brass fixtures. Right there, all these brass fixtures, definitely indicative of, you know, the 90s. See all this trim here, all pretty loose. So just a lot of caulking for the bathtubs. Shower head is definitely older. So once again, older cabinets, older fixtures. Anytime there's a shower curtain, I'm always afraid that water drips off to the edge and makes the board on the side here really soft, but this is still pretty solid, so no issues there. So that's a good sign. No softness here either. But maybe at some point you may want to redo the tiles and shower heads and whatnot. Okay, so yeah, just a standard room, no issues in this one. Again, another standard size room. And this window is definitely a failed window. It's really hard to see, but there's definitely fog in between. So that's about it. I mean, there's a lot of little things. You know, painting is the biggest one. Removing some of the dirt from your fence. Maybe getting the garage doors fixed a little bit, or maybe even replaced with better garage doors. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, it's not a bad house. I would probably see if I can get you guys a credit for closing costs. And maybe just leave the purchase price the same and see if we can't get anything that way. And not sure what was going on here, but they did have a little patch up, and not sure where that wire is going. Tried to turn on the gas fireplace, but it wasn't coming on, so the inspection didn't say that it was not functional or anything like that. Stain in the carpet. But otherwise, I mean, yeah, it's got good bones to it. I think you guys can do really well in this house, and it's definitely got room for you guys to grow. So there you go.